Alright, hey guys, this is Adam with Joe Heck Racing in Florida. We're talking about the hydraulic clutch line, the high volume replacement line for the 2011-2012 Mustang with the MT82 6-speed transmission. The line will actually fit pretty much any S197 body style Mustang, but the 2011-2012 seem to be the ones that are having issues with clutch problems or disengagement issues, and we believe that we've narrowed it down to restrictions in the factory line. I'm not sure if the line is the same on the other years of the Mustang or not. It's something I might actually look into, but the changes that we've made on the car that we use for all of our testing have been pretty conclusive. And since we've made the changes, meaning switching it from the factory line, which is this one here, to a stainless steel braided Teflon lined, just a regular -4AN line, we've had no issues since we've made this change. Made a lot of other changes at the same time, but nothing else really that would have that this effect as far as the disengagement of the clutch. So here's what we've concluded. Rather than trying to post all this stuff on typing up a post, I decided to do it via video, because I thought it may actually be a little bit easier to do this way, a little easier to explain. So here's what we found. This here, you just get a handle on it, is the fitting that we actually cut out of the factory clutch line. And when you look at the front of the fitting, the diameter of the orifice really doesn't look very small. In fact, it's very close to the size of what we're replacing it with, but it's very deceiving because, it's 149 thousandths that I've got a gauge pin in there now. It's a 149 pin, and you can see if you measure it, it's right at 149. That's this side. Once you cut this out of the line, which we did here, actually cut this end of the line off, you'll see that the other end of it, the other side of it, which you can't see because it's inside the line, actually only measures 78 thousandths. That's a pretty big difference. That's a 77.5, so it's a 78 thousandths pin. Now the diameter of the line itself is more than adequate, but unfortunately line is only good as the smallest point, especially as far as the velocity of the fluid travel, and that's what we believe is the problem. It's a velocity issue. When you are pumping the clutch, basically going through the gears, shifting and everything, after you press the clutch pedal a few times, you end up starving the slave of fluid. And this is actually a slave right here, very similar to what's in the car. This one just happens to be a GT500 slave that we had here. But now the slave, again, is much less restrictive. I'm trying to find the pin that actually fits that, which is this one here, and it's 160 thousandths. So everything else in the system is larger than this point here, which is this, again, is part of the factory line, and it's only 78 thousandths. Okay, now the fitting that we made is this right here, and it's very simple. All it is it's a -4AN 37-degree flare on one side, and then it's an adapter to go into the receptacle basically on the car, which is a plastic piece just like this one. It's a little different. This one happens to have a bleeder on it, which we really don't need, and I think that's why Ford discontinued them. This one's off I think of a 05 Mustang. But this pops in place like that. There's no ring on it that seals it, and then there's a clip that goes in. I don't have the clip. I wish I did. I'd like to show it to you, but I don't have it. And what I did also was, we've got a little cutaway view of it here. That's how it would look as it goes in. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but I'm doing the best I can with what I got here. So I'll give you an idea. You put this fitting in, first attach it to the line and tighten it. A 1/2 inch wrench on the fitting, 9/16 wrench on the line, get it tight. Then you just push the fitting into the plastic receiver that'll be sticking out of your bell housing, and you put the clip back in, and that's how you attach the line at the bottom of the car. And it's very similar at the top of the car. It's the same fitting, same scenario. It's just right next to the brake booster and the master cylinder on the top side of the car. So again, just to kind of recap it and go through this, this is the factory line. I'm trying to get as much of it in the frame here as I can. I'm actually pretty limited on my video skills here, but hopefully this is getting the job done. And again, it's very deceiving because when you look at it, it doesn't look that restrictive. You look at the outside of it and you would think that, you know, it'll move plenty of fluid and move it at a rate that would be adequate. But unfortunately, when you get to the bottom of it, this little 70 thousandths or 80 thousandths orifice, it's actually 78 thousandths. This is a 78 thousandths pin that fits in here. And I tried a 79 and it wouldn't go, so we're pretty close to 78 thousandths. That's our limiting factor. So this is what we're working on eliminating and getting it out of the way so that we don't have that restriction. Now the dash 4 line that we're using, it's you know, high quality, American made. Aeroquip, I believe, is the company that's supplying them to us right now. And the smallest point throughout our entire setup on the high volume line kit, now it's a kit that comes with the fittings and everything, so you've got 2 fittings in the line, and the smallest point is 135 thousandths. So that will eliminate any of the restrictions, and it's much more than adequate. In fact, we could have probably used a smaller line, but there's no disadvantage that we know of by going to a slightly larger line. So, and the cost was, you know, literally I think $2 or $3 difference. So for the extra couple of bucks, don't want to take any chances. I'd rather that we have a good product out there and people can use it, and hopefully we're getting to the point where these problems will be a thing of the past. That way we can get a whole bunch more people buying Mustangs, because I think there's a lot of people out there that are a little skeptical right now, and that's a shame because it's a great car. So it is a big issue, and I understand that, but in the grand scheme of things, hopefully it's a small issue and it's something that'll get addressed and won't be an issue for long. So that's all I've got for now. If any of you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'm going to put this up on YouTube, and I'll put a link, obviously, all forward. And that's it. Thanks again.